County Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Wednesday, May 13th, 2015. We're in the Senator hearing room at Courthouse Square, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have a pretty quick agenda this morning. We have a presentation, but the presentees have not arrived yet, so we'll move that a little later in the agenda. Our next item is public comment, but we have no one signed up for public comment. So we'll go ahead and move the consent calendar, and I think it's Commissioner Cameron's turn.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to move the consent calendar under juvenile, approve amendment number 1 to the intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Youth Authority, adding $100,000 for individualized services for juvenile youth. Under the tax collector, approve an order authorizing the cancellation of uncollectible personal property tax accounts.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve those two items. Any discussion on either of them? Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those are approved. We have one action item today under Public Works. It's to consider approval of an order appointing Benjamin Williams to the Marion County Parks Commission for a term ending April 30th, 2019. So Jeff Bickford is here, and it looks like Benjamin Williams is also here. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Bickford, Environmental Services Division Manager with the Public Works Department. And just want to give you a little background. The Board of Commissioners actually formed the Marion County Parks Commission a long time ago, back in September of 1958. So it's a very long-running committee. Our commission consists of 7 voting members who serve 4-year appointed terms. And basically, we currently have 2 positions available. They're actually all lay person positions. There are no representative type positions on this council. The Parks Commission was established to consider various issues and make recommendations to the board related to a number of various concerns related to Marion County's parks. We have 18 developed parks in Marion County, so the commission considers both potential additions to our parks system as well as changes potentially to our parks. So the county received an application from Mr. Williams here, and he was actually interviewed by staff and our Parks Commission chair on April 20th. And there was definitely a consensus that we felt we wanted to move his potential appointment to the board for their consideration. I'll go ahead and let Mr. Williams tell us a little bit about himself.
Again, good morning. That pretty well summarizes the history. I mean, I've lived in Marion County now almost 20 years. Strongly believe in civic engagement and use the parks, county as well as state park, Shampooey and French Prairie. So feels like it's about time to try and contribute back in one way or another.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you being here this morning and appreciate your willingness to serve on the Parks Commission. Commissioner Brentano are you the liaison to the Parks Commission?
Yeah, but I haven't attended a meeting in 2 years.
Oh,
So
they're
I don't know
working
how
on the
effective
time
I
frame
am.
for those meetings, right? So that they won't be on Wednesday mornings, correct?
Thursday mornings.
Is it going to
department
be
head
Thursday
meetings.
morning? Oh, the Thursday mornings. Is that the problem? Okay.
And that is correct. We have blocked a spot on your calendar for the next meeting in August.
Wonderful.
So, all right.
I won't
so
be
I
there.
heard.
No,
all right.
just kidding.
So anyway, I heard that was in the works. So anyway, you have any questions?
Oh, just one. Ben, when you talk about in your application a need to have a park in the French Prairie area, and I think about that's probably correct. Do you have any place in mind, or what are you thinking?
Well, I mean, one of the things that struck me early on, just looking at the map of the distribution of parks, is the absence in the north part of the county, which is striking because it's the historical center for the state. I mean, that's where it all started. And to your specific question, yes, there is a potential park opportunity in Butteville because the county owns a right-of-way which goes right to the river. It's replete with complications. There's no point in not saying that right up front. It's replete with complications. But it is hugely historically significant. That's the right-of-way of the old Butte Street that runs down to the river is where the steamship landing was. It was the access to Butteville. Butteville was the hop cap center of the county, the state, and the nation for one time, et cetera, et cetera. So there's that kind of angle to it, just as well as the fact that the community needs some things, and a park would certainly be a great addition.
See, I guessed that because I saw Greg Leo was on your application form, and I figured that Butteville and Greg Leo and Parks
Right.
would go together. So.
Well, as an example, the Butteville store is essentially not going to operate this year. So for the last 5 years, it was operated on behalf of the State Park Service by Friends of Historic Shampooey. That's the historical interpretation organization at the park. The people that dress up and show you how we made quilts and all that stuff. And they finally realized running a retail operation is out of their core competence. So they just said, we're not doing this anymore. So the Butteville store is going to end up this summer being staffed by a volunteer and be an extension of the visitor center at the park, which is to say a few historic pictures and we'll sell some books. So it has continued to implode in the community. So there's no gathering place, there's no place to get a local cup of coffee, let alone a six-pack of Diet Coke if you want it. There's nothing communal left in Butteville. It's a commuter kind of community, and it's sad given the historicity there.
That is sad. We did the 150 miles for 150 years relay a few years back, and Butteville was one of the places that we stopped. And we had a massive number of people there, and it was crowded, and we got food, and it was really a fun stop. I've got photos of it. Commissioner, any questions or comments?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Ben, for being here today. Are there parks in French Prairie today that are not necessarily county parks?
Well, I'm only aware of two. There's the Shampooey State Heritage Area, so there's the state park, and there's a little park in Donald, which is like 1/4 of a city block, which is attached to the city hall. There's probably a city park in Woodburn.
There's several, yeah.
Right, if not more. But outside of the city limits, not that I'm aware of.
And then the other question I have is funding. You talked about things, kind of the infrastructure falling apart or not going the right direction. Do you have ideas? Because obviously when you bring in a new park, you've got to maintain it, the infrastructure and the maintenance. Right. Ideas for how that may change in the area to make that happen?
Well, it's in the list of things I was referring to under complications, because certainly there has to be a funding vehicle if it's capital funding on the front end or operational funding on a go-forward basis. So whether it's doing an improvement to an existing park or trying to create a new one, that's something that has to be addressed on the front end.
Okay.
So off the top, nothing specific, but those are certainly operational categories that have got to be addressed early on.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. So are we ready for a motion?
All right, Madam Chair, I'd make a motion that we do approve the order that appoints Benjamin Williams to the Marion County Parks Commission for a term ending April 30th, 2019.
I'll second the motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the order appointing Benjamin Williams to this position. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
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 All right, you are approved.
Thank you for your
We'll
service.
look forward to hearing great things.
Thank you.
All right, so we just learned that our presentation is not going to happen today, so we'll have to schedule it on a different day. This was a customer service award that John Latimer was going to give, but there were some complications. So anyway, we will reschedule, and so that means we...
Poor customer service, isn't it?
So that means we have no other items of business today on our calendar. I'll go ahead and read the Wednesday to Wednesday notice of meetings where 2 or 3 commissioners will be present. We're just completing our board session here on Wednesday, May 13th at Courthouse Square in the Senator Hearing Room. Tomorrow morning, May 14th, Thursday at 7:30 a.m. is the monthly meeting with City of Kaiser officials. That's at Sherry's Restaurant, 4998 River Road North in Kaiser. At 9:30, Thursday, May 14th, will be a work session on community projects grants. Then at noon on May 14th will be a meeting of the Children and Families Commission. This is held at the Broadway Commons in the Grant Room, second floor, 1300 Broadway Street, Northeast in Salem. On May 16th, Saturday, is the Rising to the Occasion Iris Festival. And several commissioners, are you in the parade?
No, I gave
Yeah.
up my seat for somebody else to sit in.
Okay, all right, you're in the parade, though.
I will be, and he's
Okay.
so thoughtful.
So 9:30, actually, the parade starts at 10:30, but we're supposed to be there at 9:30, and I always get there at 10, and it's plenty of time to get there is at 10. It says Day Spring Fellowship, but that's where you can park. So actually, the parade's on River Road North.
Weather should be great and always a good crowd.
On May 18th, Monday at 8:30 is the Board of Commissioners calendar review. That's in the Silverton Conference Room, 5th floor in Courthouse Square, followed by management update at 9, same place. On May 18th at 2 o'clock, we're having a Board of Commissioners food drive event, and that will be in the first floor coffee shop here at Courthouse Square. And I understand it's a painting activity that Gordine has
Yeah, can we talk about that?
drummed up, and she's very excited about it. And so I'm a little nervous about it, but
Well,
I think.
thank you.
I think,
My daughter's pretty good. I need a judge's determination. Could she kind of outline something for me before I go? So, is there any?
well, they
thinking?
have a consultant that's coming in.
Consultant?
Yeah, that's going to teach us how to do this.
Oh, no,
Did
I'm
you
my
know
own
this?
spirit. I can't.
That's between you and the consultant and Gordine. All right, so May 19th, Tuesday, 9 a.m. is a service districts meeting that will be in the Silverton Conference Room, 5th floor at Courthouse Square, followed at 10:30 by a work session on backyard chickens. So I bet you're waiting for that. So which one do you want more, the painting event or the backyard chicken event? Also in the Silverton Conference Room, 5th floor.
Safe
And
Cooper.
then Wednesday, 1 week from today, May 20th, we're back here in the Senator Hearing Room for our regular Wednesday board session. In the afternoon at 3:30, next Wednesday, is the monthly meeting of the Economic Development Advisory Board. That will be held up in the 5th floor in the Commissioners' Boardroom. And then at 3:30 in the afternoon, there's also an Insight Jobs Council meeting at the Chemeketa Center for Business and Industry, 626 High Street Northeast in Salem.
Yeah, that'll be a wonderful week just designed for me, I think.
Yep.
Put it all together.
So Jolene's going to take photos of all of our paintings, right? Yeah. And then we'll hang them up in the courthouse. We'll put them where that Veterans Court is on that wall. Just kidding. I just made
I
that
thought
up.
they would be
Thank you.
auctioned off.
Oh, they're going to be auctioned off
I believe so.
for money? You think people
Yes.
would pay for them?
I think I'd pay to take mine out of circulation, so hope they do.
Yeah.
So, Madam Chair, I'm going to be at another real popular event that happens in Marion County on Saturday. Why you're at the Iris Festival, I'm going to be at the Detroit Lake Fishing Derby.
Oh,
And despite the rumors that said that it was canceled this year, it is not canceled. There's, even Detroit Lake, when it's have a problem like they have, feeling that the docks aren't floating yet, but it is still one of the largest lakes in the state, and there is a couple of low water ramps that are still available for people to get their boats in. And there was a quote in the paper by one of the business owners up there. It's just a little smaller pool of water to catch all those fish that are up there. It's a little bit easier to catch them when there's less water. So that's what he said. But that's what I'll be doing. And there's thousands of youth and families that go up there for that event. So hopefully they're still going to have a success. It's important to them.
that's
Yeah.
great. So we'll be thinking of you when we're in the parade.
Yeah.
You're out there fishing.
Yeah. Well, I got to do the duties, fathers and sons, and the whole fun thing. Yeah.
So I noticed the irises have been out for a while, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping there are still a lot of irises in bloom on Saturday.
Should be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to the reopening of Marion Forks and then come by and check and see if he's following our state fishing rules and make sure
Yeah.
everything's square.
Yeah. I had dinner up there 2 Saturday nights ago, and enjoy it. We actually called ahead of time. We had a nephew with us and reserved the prime ribs ahead of time. So you may want to do that. I don't know what they've planned. If you're going to have dinner. But I ended up, they ran out of prime rib, and I ended up having a prime rib dip sandwich, so they used the leftover prime. That was better than the prime rib. That was really good.
I'll be more of a
It's great to see
lunch
them open.
after Kaiser. I think I'll just go on up there and see if I can grab somebody at the house to go with me. But that was always a nice place to stop, and happy to see it get back. And I met the lady, can't recall her name right now, that's operating it
Is it
at the Mill
Ann?
City award celebration. She was pretty excited about everything. I do have one thing, it's probably premature to announce, but I'm kind of excited about it. They're working on, and only that, this year, we just had an Oregon Garden Foundation meeting yesterday, and they're working on bringing in a skating rink now.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, for the Christmas and the,
Ice skating rink?
yes.
So where would they do that?
Well, they level it out and bring in a
Oh, so it'd be an outdoor
yes.
rink. Wow.
I don't know if I ever told you I was related to Brian Boitano. Did I mention that ever?
No.
No, it's not true, but I just wondered if I'd ever said that before.
Sam on ice skates.
So
Sam
he hasn't
on
been around
ice
for a
skates.
while, though,
No.
has he?
That'd be fun to
Was
see.
he your favorite skater?
No, but I always wondered if there was a connection there. Mom used to take us up to Lloyd Center and we'd skate, and I was
I've done that once.
step, glide, step, glide, fall on your rear, yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see that.
All right, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty happy other than backyard chickens, and what was the other one?
Painting.
Painting could get my attention. All right.
Let's see what else. Good Public Safety Council
Yeah, it
coordinating
was
meeting
it was
last
a
night.
great meeting.
Really good, some good discussion and some seeds planted on some important things in the future. So I really appreciate your leadership there. It was good and had good attendance too.
It was
So,
really good attendance. And we had a visitor, as you saw from the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. Ross, I can't remember his last name, but he was sitting across the way from you. And he came over afterwards and just talked about how fortunate we are in Marion County to have so many gifted people. He didn't use the word gifted, that's my word, but I mean, you think about the caliber of talent, experience, vision around that table. It's just pretty incredible.
and egos that don't get in the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing, at County College this weekend, which none of us will be at, but our DA, our sheriff, juvenile directors, they're all going to be teaching and sharing. And I noticed, I got the agenda and I noticed it was all Marion County that's setting the I guess the stage for new county commissioners that have come in as an example. So I emailed a couple of my colleagues and said, ask about 3194 funding and how important that is and the programs and how it's impacted, and then talk about, because a couple of our colleagues that I've got to know through this college say they struggle with that relationship between their DA and their sheriff, and I said, ask about that. How's that developed over a period of time? But yeah, we're blessed to have the people that we have in leadership, and yeah.
Really work together.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd take a moment, and I know you testified yesterday and explained to me and us what that was about. It has to do with Fred Perry, which is kind of our theme today.
Right. In fact, Mr. Williams, I think, was on the opposite side of that
Oh.
testimony yesterday. The Aurora Airport, which we have two airports that are in Marion County, Salem and Aurora, both of them very important to us. Senator Girard filed a bill, and before he filed the bill, we actually went to the Marion County Farm Bureau, he and I did, on one of their night meetings, and shared the bill with them, and they stayed neutral on the bill, because we know we need to protect farmland. But what this bill would allow is a municipal or an airport that's outside the urban growth boundary, which most airports are, because you don't want them flying over your house. It will allow a city or a municipality to come to an agreement together to run water or sewer services to those airports. And my testimony was the fact that, part of our land use goals is to keep growth infilled. So if you eliminate the need for sewer and septic and water wells, you can put more buildings in that particular area. So it's a good land use thing, and it avoids us having to annex property up to the airport to get those services to the airport. So it passed the Senate 29-1, but now there's a whole Well, let me just say this. It's an important bill to everybody around the state that has airports that wants to do economic development in those airports. The only opposition came from people up at French Prairie and Wilsonville. And hopefully
So they don't want any growth, and to do that, they would dare you to try to extend your urban growth boundary and annex it.
And the bill is permissive. It doesn't mandate that anybody does it. And so even somebody said there's a city councilor from Aurora that says didn't want the bill. And one of the things I said in my testimony, I said, they don't have to do this. It would just give them permission if they wanted to. So the city council doesn't have to come up to the agreement.
That brings up questions about availability of services. Maybe Aurora doesn't have the capacity. I don't know
Right,
that
right. They'd have to figure all that out. But this just allows a
process.
process to have it happen and save farmland, which is important to us in Marion County. So I'm hopeful that Chair Clem and they'll figure out. I heard that he wants to amend the bill, but if it takes out our airport, that's not a good thing. So does that explain it good?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Anything else?
By the way, it's fun to go over there and testify and be on the other
I can,
side.
I can
Yeah.
see your picture that you like talking to them rather than
Right.
listening.
I call it being a grandparent
And
at the legislature. You go over when you want to, you don't go when you don't want to.
Right, it's
You work
good.
on the things you want to, and you don't get thrown things that you don't feel like working on.
And at the end, I was up there with Representative Davis, who testified in favor of the bill from Wilsonville, and Chair Clem, because Representative Davis and I served on that committee together last year, and Chair Clem says, we missed both of you on the committee. And then, of course, I had made some comment about my plastic bag not being good enough for my umbrella to Representative Gilliam. So at the end of the committee, Representative Gilliam looked over at us and said, yes, we do miss you, Representative Davis.
Oh,
Threw me under the bus, too.
Yeah. Oh, that's
We're having
That's
fun.
normal.
Having fun.
yeah. All right. Well, if there is nothing else, we will adjourn.